Alright, so I am back on the Ninja 1000. I just picked it up from inspection. It passed, everything's good. So within 10 days, I should have the title in the mail, and I will be able to sell it. Hopefully quickly. But you never know. I don't think I'll have a huge issue selling it because it's a 1000. It's a 2019, so it's not super old, and it's like right at the start of riding season, pretty much. So I think the time is good, time of the year. It's only got 14,000 miles on it, not bad at all. The only issue, like I said before, is the R title. That turns some people away, but other people don't really care and they'll still buy it. So I'm hoping I don't have any issues selling it and I get this sold quickly. But for right now, my biggest concern is getting it back home into my driveway safely with no issues. Once that happens, I'll be good. And the next time I'll be riding it will be to sell it. I just got to get it back home. I got lucky because it just finished today, which just so happens to be my day off, and it's, as you can see, it's beautiful outside. 73 degrees, nice bright blue sky, beautiful day to go riding. So timing for that worked out very well too. I'm glad everything passed. It's good. There was only one thing I was really worried about, and clearly it is fine because it passed inspection. I forgot to double check it when I dropped the bike off, so I was a little bit worried, but we're good. Everything passed. Like I said, I just got to get it home now. Right now I'm a little nervous because I'm on an unfamiliar road. I've only been on this road once. So this is a very new to me road. Once we get back to where I know where I'm at, I'll be comfortable. I just got to stay out of my head right now because for those of you who don't know, this is like my 4th or 5th time picking up a bike from this exact shop and taking it home. When I brought home my ZX10, I made it almost the entire way home. Almost the entire way home to the point where I was 2 minutes away from my house. Not even. I was less than a minute away from my house. And I wrecked. The day I got it registered, titled and everything, I wrecked it. Which, that could have been bad. Which obviously really sucked. For so many reasons, but I'm not going to talk about that again. I've talked about it several times. So there was that. And then the very next bike I did after that was the Ninja 500. And on the way home with that one, I had 2 extremely close calls. Like, uncomfortably close. I thought it was going to happen again. Luckily it didn't. I got home safely with that one and was able to sell it pretty quickly. But because that has happened, because the past 2 rides have been like that, I'm quite nervous. And like I said, I just want to get this bike sold. So obviously I wanted to get it home in the exact same condition it's in right now. So I can just clean it up real nice, detail it and stuff, and then take pictures and list it. I don't want anything to happen to it on the way home where I have to repair anything else. I have already looked into a new project. I have been scoping out bikes and cars alike. I actually bid on a Mustang GT this morning, but then, which I was winning, but then up until it went up on the block, like it's turn to go, then all of a sudden it took off, and it went for a good bit more than what I had set my max bet. So unfortunately I didn't get that. But I have been looking at new projects, but what I think I should do is kind of let my bank account recover for a little bit instead of just immediately spending what I make from this bike. So I'm thinking, as much as I'd like to get a new project as soon as this one's sold, I think I'm going to wait a little bit, build my bank account up some more, maybe use that little bit of space I have in the garage for side projects like furniture and stuff, refinishing furniture and selling that for some side money. But I will definitely keep an eye out on projects and stuff. I'll keep an eye on Copart. If anything happens where I'm like, yeah, I really don't want to pass that deal up, then I'm sure you'll see a video about it. Actually, speaking of, I did technically win a BMW. I won it on the auction. I had set my max bid. It didn't really move. Then it went up a little bit. But then when it's time on the auction block, nobody bid on it. The time just went through and nobody bid on it, so I won it. It said sold on approval. So I was like, oh, cool. It didn't even go for my max bid. Like, there's still even more room. I got it for cheaper than I thought. That's awesome. I was all excited and stuff. So I was waiting for an email saying, like, either a counter offer or congratulations. About 2 hours later, I finally get an email from Copart. They said, hey, sorry for the inconvenience, but we're moving the lot. And I was like, what? I did not know they could even do that. So after I already won the vehicle, they said, nah, never mind, we're going to re-auction it. So they put it back up for auction. Instead of saying like, hey, give us this much, they just put it up for auction right away. And when I looked, it was set with a buy it now price, and that buy it now price was the exact same price as my maximum bid. So like they could have said, hey, just give us this much more money and we'll give it to you, and I'd have been like, okay, deal. But they didn't. They just rescheduled it. Turns out though, that was good, because I looked at it when they reposted it. I looked at the lot again. This time I really looked over it, zoomed in and stuff, and the damage was a little worse than I thought. So I'm actually glad they did that, because it would have been harder than I thought it was going to be. So in a way, that worked out well for me. But for a while, I was so mad that they did that, because I was like, I literally won the auction. What do you mean we're going to reschedule it? Like, how are you just going to say, never mind, that's not yours anymore? And the fact that they set the buy it now price the same as my bid, I was like, well, why didn't you just ask me for more money? Thankfully, they didn't. I didn't give it to them, so now I don't have any responsibility of that car. It's up for auction again. Someone else can get it. And I don't have to worry about all the damage it has. So it did go well. But I was mad at first when they're like, yeah, that's not yours. We're just going to reschedule it. I was like, how can they even do that? So you guys almost saw a BMW on the channel. And no, not a motorcycle. I cannot afford an S1000 RR as much as I want one. Cannot afford it. So it would have been a car. And the total cost for the inspection of this and getting all the paperwork and stuff, making it legal, was $624. I just spent $624 a day. So I'm going to add that on top of all of the parts and stuff I've paid for and put into this. That'll be my grand total of money invested into this, not counting the rental truck that I had to use to pick it up. And then whatever I sell it for, subtract that amount from what it was sold for, and that's how much profit I'll make from this. Which, considering I just spent $600 more, I'll be lucky to make like $400 or $500 on this bike profit. But the thing is, I've had this bike for so long and been working on it for so long that all the money I get for selling it is going to feel like profit, just because I'm used to my bank account being what it's at now. So when I all of a sudden get all the money from selling this, it's going to feel like it was all profit. When in reality, I'm really only going to make like $500 at most, which really sucks. I was originally, when I bought this, I was originally thinking I was going to make about $3,000, which was going to be huge. And then I saw and showed you guys how expensive the fairings ended up being, which is insane. But that ate into pretty much all the profit. The fairings are what killed me. If I didn't have to spend that much on them, I would have been looking really good on profit, but unfortunately that wasn't an option. Not too shabby. I was in 5th gear, so if I would have dropped the gear, I would have went way faster. That's still pretty good. Oh, cool. It has the outside temperature on it. It says it's 69 degrees. I didn't know there was any bikes that would show that, honestly. It's kind of cool. I never thought about a motorcycle showing the outside temperature because obviously odds are you already know what it is if you're going riding. But I do like that. My plan was to make 2 videos at least on this ride home, just so I have more for you guys and stuff and can keep stacking them up. But I don't seem to be very talkative today, and I don't really know what else to talk about. Like I told you guys about Copart and stuff and where I'm at with projects and everything, so I'm not quite sure what I would talk about in the second video besides like whatever happens. But I mean, sometimes I do that. I'll go get all set up and everything and go riding. Oh geez, there's a lot of wind. I'll go riding with zero plan for the video besides which route I'm going to take. I don't have any topics in mind or anything like that. I just go and then react to whatever happens in front of me or talk about whatever comes to mind throughout the ride. But I'm not sure if today's a good day for it, just because I have so much to do at home that's kind of keeping me, I guess distracted would be the word, honestly, because like I'm wondering, well, I'm not wondering, I'm thinking about all the stuff I gotta get done. The worst part of being an adult is how much stuff you have to do all the time, especially if you own a house. It never ends. The only thing unfortunate about today's timing is there's definitely going to be school traffic because it's getting very close to the time that school lets out for the day. So I'm probably going to have to deal with that. But otherwise, it's a great day for riding. That Mustang's for sale, and I definitely want to look at it, but need to save up some money for a little bit. I gotta keep reminding myself that. Knowing me, I'm gonna end up finding a deal that I can't pass up. And I'll probably have another project shortly, but maybe not. It just depends on Copart, really. Or Marketplace. I could find something on there. The thing about Marketplace is typically if you find a vehicle, if it's a project on there, like somebody selling it wrecked, damaged or whatever, they bought it as a project and don't have the time for it anymore, whatever the case may be, typically when you buy from there, it's a clean title, which, like I said earlier, makes selling a lot easier. So that's a nice difference, but it's also less trustworthy. You don't fully know what all is wrong with it, and you gotta trust that they're telling you everything. So that part's a little sketchy. And here's what I mean about the school traffic. It is so hard to consistently go slow on a 1000 because obviously it just wants to take off. Ooh, it's a very nice Mustang. It's pretty new too. That's definitely going to be long enough, and I don't want this video to get too long. I feel like the ones I've been posting have been getting a little bit too long, and I can't save them in 4K because they take up too much room on my phone when they're that long. So I'm going to end this one here, and then next chance I get to pull over, I will do that. I'll start a new one, and I'll go from there. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I was going to say, sorry I wasn't super talkative, but to you guys it won't seem like that because I cut out all of the silent parts. So you guys usually think I'm talking the whole time, very talkative and all that stuff, but I'm not. I cut out all the silence because it would just be kind of awkward if I didn't, and I feel like it would be boring as well. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day.